Hello, and welcome to this, our latest video, the fourth in the series we started posting in the last few weeks of 2023. Today's video is entitled Why Investing is for Everyone. So as a quick recap, in our first three videos, we have looked at, firstly, how important investment is for all of us, and arguably even more important for society more generally. We've also looked at the idea that becoming wealthy is far more about knowledge and habit than about income, truly. In our first video, we showed how most millionaires are actually just normal people who get investment right, and also at just how many celebrities, sports stars, and even lottery winners go bankrupt because they never learn about finance and investment. We then went on to look at the idea that pessimists sound smart, but optimists make money, and at why pessimism is so powerful and so damaging, because it prevents so many millions of us from doing the best we could be doing with our finances, and as a result from becoming wealthy. We also looked at the very long run returns that can come from stock market investment, and at how those returns are enough to make millionaires of normal people. And at the reason for this, which is what I describe as the greatest investment theme of them all, and that is human progress. In our third video, I explained that my ultimate aim with this video series over the next few weeks and months is to present an approach to investment which can do a really good job for anyone financially over a lifetime. So if you missed those videos and you want to hear more about those ideas in detail, please do check them out. So in today's video, I wanted to do two things. First, to look at the big picture point of investing overall. And secondly, to give you an idea of some of the key topics we're going to cover in the next few videos so that you can know what to expect from this series. So to the first of those points, what is the point of investing or investment overall? As with so many things in life, it is helpful to start with the end in mind. And if you're going to start working out this investment thing, it's really important to get really clear on why you're doing it. This will help with motivation and increase your chance of charting the right course. As I've written in the past, the whole point of investment is that you can get to a point where you're able to live on your money, or even better, on the money you make from your money, rather than the money you make from working. And whilst this idea might seem crazy to many people, and indeed fundamentally out of reach, when you think about it, this is ultimately just the whole idea of a pension. So the more you understand about financial markets and investment, the more you will come to realize that this goal is actually entirely possible. It's perhaps worth saying that this is something that we have become really bad at in the UK in the last few decades. The vast majority of people in the UK are not making nearly enough of their pension and other investments in order to end up with a decent income once they retire. Unless you are in a very small minority and doing a great job with investment, it is likely that you're going to have a very low income in retirement. Obviously not the most enticing prospect and a pretty depressing thought. And I think it's really important to stress that the government is absolutely not going to be able to sort this out for you. And it won't matter which party is in power. And this isn't some kind of conspiracy theory. It's a result of demographics, decades of bad policy choices, and maths. So to explain a bit, our pension system was created in 1909 for over 70s when hardly anyone lived past the age of 70. Since then, life expectancy has increased by decades. And given the state of the British economy, levels of government debt, and crucially, the fact that many millions of us will want to retire at, say, 60 and are likely to live to 90, 100 or even beyond, the maths simply don't work anymore. If you're under about the age of 50, it is extremely unlikely that you're going to get enough to live on from the government for several decades after you retire. It isn't an exaggeration to suggest that we confront a proper pensions crisis in the years ahead. And it won't matter what political party is in power, as I say, we just can't afford the current system. And this reality is actually a big part of why we have a cost of living crisis at the moment, something that we'll explain about more in a future video. Sadly, millions of people are sleepwalking into an impoverished future. That is the bad news, and it is pretty bad news. The good news, however, is that most people can actually do something about it. This reality is a big part of our mission as a company. millions, if not tens of millions of people can do something about this looming pensions crisis. They just need to do a better job with saving and with investing. And the even better news is that if you start early enough and do a sufficiently good job, you might even find yourself able to live on your money some way earlier than traditional retirement age. So that's the big picture point of investing that all too often gets lost. To get to a point where you can live on your money and not on your work. And a goal that has never been more important than it is today, given the state of government finances all over the world. The second thing I wanted to do with this video was to introduce some of the key topics we're going to cover in the weeks and months ahead to help you get to that end goal. In our next few videos, we're going to look at, in no particular order, firstly, and very importantly, the crucial difference between investing and trading, and why it is so important to understand that difference, mainly to avoid losing money, because an estimated 70 to 80% of people who trade lose money. Investing is something altogether different. We're going to look at some of the challenges around financial advice in the UK, and why it is basically only available to people who are already quite wealthy. And this, of course, is a huge problem for everyone else. We'll also look at some of the key ways that you can maximize your chances of succeeding here. These include investing for the very long run, automating your investments and making them regularly each month, completely ignoring the news, and getting your mix of investments roughly right based on your age. And once we've done that, we'll go on to look at some of the key resources you're going to want to use to do the best job with your money. There's a great deal else we want to cover in the next few months, but I think that's enough to be getting on with for now. As ever, if you want to ensure that you're one of the first to see these videos when they're published, please do click the subscribe and bell buttons. And actually, if you share our mission around just how important this stuff is, just how important financial literacy is for all of us, please do consider sharing this video and indeed our other videos across social media. So until next time, I wish you the very best.